Hello and welcome back to Anywhere But Here, episode 243. My name is Tom.
And my name's Ant.
And you can find us at abhpod.com, where on the right-hand side of the page there is an Amazon banner, or halfway down the page if you're scrolling through on your device. There's an Amazon banner, and you can click through that banner and you can do your shopping on Amazon as you usually do, because everyone buys everything on Amazon these days, and we get 5% of your total basket spend. And let's face it, they don't pay enough tax in this country. So by doing that, you're taking a little bit off the man and giving it to a worthy cause, us, so that we can pay for our web hosting fees.
Yeah, and if you, because of this whole tax thing, you're boycotting Amazon and you don't want to spend money on Amazon, you can support us in another way around that same area, whether it's on the right-hand side or halfway down the page. There is also a Patreon banner. If you click through that, you go to a Patreon page, and for as little as £1 a month, or $1 a month, sorry, dollar because it's an American company, $1 a month, and that's the minimum.
Yeah.
And that's all we ask for.
Yeah.
But
you can give us more.
It's $1. You can give us more if you want. There is an option to increase your pledge, but $1 is the minimum that we ask for, and for that you get the After the podcast, which only goes out. It's exclusive to our Patreon supporters. You get a spoiler cast the week we record them. So this week, our patrons get to listen to our Endgame spoiler cast, and it probably won't come out until Christmas for the rest of you. So if you want to listen to that now, you can go and do it, become a patron. But we also have YouTube videos occasionally, and they get posted early for the Patreon supporters. They can watch them early. But I think the best thing is you get this main episode without the intro, with us rambling on to you, and you get all of the audio content delivered on an exclusive feed. You get your own private RSS feed that's just for you. You put it in, everything, all the audio stuff gets delivered straight to your Patreon feed. Yeah. And you get the little gold thumb on the album artwork.
Which is coveted,
cool.
Of course.
Coveted.
The coveted gold thumb.
I mean, you get it digitally on there. You don't.
We don't give you a gold thumb.
We don't give you a gold thumb.
That would be weird.
Yeah, but do it. It's good.
You can find us on the social media sites. We're on Twitter at ABHPod, and we're on Facebook.com/ABHPod. We're also on YouTube.com/ABHPodcast, where we occasionally post videos, and apparently these do get put up there now, these episodes.
These episodes get put up there with the album artwork, It's an automatic thing. I didn't do it on purpose, but it's fine.
Yeah.
We've also got access to email as well. So, you can email us, abhpod@gmail.com. And we always used to say it because we used to ask for, like, real seedy stories. Like, if you want to remain anonymous, just let us know in the email. But
no one ever did.
We're boring now.
Or very few people did.
Yeah,
anyway.
We don't do that anymore.
No. On this episode, we don't touch a lot of news because we can't be asked. The world's bad enough as it is. We don't want to talk about bad things, so we talk about good things like Game of Thrones, but not the current series. We're not going to spoil anything from the current series because I'm only on season 3. So we're talking about very early Game of Thrones episodes and how the hell you're supposed to catch up with them.
Yeah, and speaking about spoiling things, we do talk about the new Star Wars trailer that we are aware people are, like these days, are trying to avoid watching trailers because they just want to go and watch the film. My dad being one of them. So that's the last thing we do. We say goodbye to everyone and then we talk about the new Star Wars trailer.
We mourn the loss of another podcast friend of ours, Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks. They're no longer recording, or not for the foreseeable future anyway. We'll talk a little bit about that.
And we also talk about Easter eggs in computer games, video games. We spend a good chunk sort of reminiscing about that sort of thing because they're really cool.
Now, we weren't here last episode. It was a record of the Captain Marvel spoiler cast, so we're going to talk a little bit about the things that we were up to 2 weeks ago. I was at a stag do, so didn't get too messy, but, it was touch and go as to whether I could record.
Some interesting stories come from it, though.
Yeah, but you were doing something much more worthwhile. You were at Brighton doing the marathon for the second year in a row, so let's talk a little bit about that, shall we?
Enjoy.
We're back. It's been another month. Hi. You were doing a marathon last week.
I did do a marathon 2 weeks ago.
Last episode.
Yeah, that was one of the main reasons. And it went out late because I think I got home and just fell asleep. Because I was going to do it when I got home and then I didn't. So it went out on the Monday, which I apologise for. But
it's all good. I mean, if I
nobody seemed to notice.
I should have had the recording on me, really, and I could have.
Yeah, but I only remembered on the way to Brighton. I was like, fuck, I haven't done that episode to go out. But yeah, they did another marathon. That was a miserable experience.
The weather was all right, though, right?
So at the start, it was lovely. I actually ended up sunburnt.
Right.
Because like the first sort of 15 miles, it was lovely. Really nice, really warm, not too hot, you know.
Yeah.
But then I got down to Hove, and the wind just picked up.
Right.
And luckily the wind was behind us, so like it was pushing us
you
sort
on.
of away from the start line. So you can see where this is going. But it was freezing, absolutely freezing cold. So what ended up happening was my calves and my thighs just cooled down too quick, and I ended up cramping up.
Rubbish.
And it just stayed cramped. I couldn't warm them up.
No.
So I didn't get injured this year.
Yeah.
But I was just cramping all over the place. So I had to keep stopping and walking. And so you did that, and then you've got the sort of, is it 20 mile turning point pretty much. So you end up going around a bit called Power Station, which is an industrial estate. It's horrible and grey.
Right. An industrial estate.
And it was an industrial estate. And you turn around and you're now running along the seafront. Again, it's the same as last year. I did the turnaround.
Yeah.
But last year the wind was coming off the sea and bringing the sea mist with it, and just battering you in the side of the face with cold water, and it was raining. This year you were just running into a headwind. And it was a freezing cold headwind, and you're cramping up. And I mean, this year I saw like 2 ambulances at the power station to like that end, like just going past, and you saw people crying because they had to stop, they had to pull out because they were injured, and it was fucking miserable. Loved it. Yeah. Absolutely loved it.
And you'll be doing it again next year, right?
Probably will do, yeah. It's a miserable experience, but the atmosphere is just too, it's too addictive. Yeah. I absolutely loved it.
Because there's yourself and Ben as well, Ben Taylorson from Rated H, who does a bunch of marathons.
He runs, yeah. He's a runner. He's a runner. I'm not a runner, he's a runner. But technically, Ron did the Brighton Marathon as well.
Oh yeah.
And I wasn't sure what he looked like in person.
No.
But I think I was running alongside him at points.
Right.
Because I saw.
Did he look like Ron Weasley?
No, actually, he doesn't. Which is weird. But so there was a lot like Calm, which is the campaign against living miserably, which is it's like the mental health campaign. It's like for men. It's a men's mental health campaign. And it's a fantastic cause. They had a massive presence this year.
Really?
They had a massive tent like in the finishers village, like the event village, and there was so many runners for Calm this year. They had like loads of cheer points. It was really cool. But yeah, there was a big group. I think he ran with 6 or 7 other people.
Okay.
And I saw like a big group of them at the start, and then I saw like little pods of them running around. And I think I ran past him, and I wanted to stop and keep asking people, but
which one?
Because he's Twitter famous, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, and he's actually like he is Twitter famous. Like I see friends of mine that aren't in the podcast and were retweeting and sharing stuff on Facebook from him. So
and he basically he started off on like Weekly Geek Speak basically.
Yeah, he's a friend, isn't he? Yeah,
a friend of theirs. Yeah.
So, and I think I did run past him, but I didn't talk to him. I probably should have done at some point. But
you run
kind of, yeah. It's kind of running. But it's just so frustrating that last year I had an injury and I was slower this year. But this year I didn't train anywhere near as much as I should have done.
That's
at all.
it,
and the conditions were... Like, a lot of people I've seen, like, the conditions were fantastic. What are you on about? I was like, it was so cold. So cold. There were people, like, in the sort of finishing times where I was... I mean, I was only, like, 9 minutes slower or something. It's not, like, a huge... over a marathon distance, it's not a massive difference. But there were people running with had to stop at St John's Ambulance and get the foil blankets, and they were running with the foil blankets. It was that cold.
Wow!
Just to try and trap the heat.
I suppose this is the problem with running right next to the sea, isn't it? It's not conducive to really hot.
Yeah, on a nice calm day, it would be beautiful.
Yeah, but
But
like,
it wasn't.
It's still just about the spring. It's certainly not,
Yeah.
we're not guaranteed great weather.
No.
Because the day before was really nice, the Saturday, because I was on a stag do.
So you say that,
Yeah,
but we got to Brighton on the Saturday.
yeah.
We parked up in Hilton Hotel car park. We walked out and we're walking down towards the event village to get the race pack, and the heavens opened.
Oh, really?
And like it was torrential.
Mm.
And I had like a jacket.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
This
is ridiculous. Like it was, I got soaking wet.
Wow.
And it was cold.
Oh.
And then we got up that morning and it was like, oh, it's beautiful. And then at 20 miles, like, oh my God, this is fucking miserable. It's just, I mean, because like at the rate I'm running, it's like over the course of 5 hours, five and a half hours. The weather's going to change. We're in England.
Yeah, of course,
like,
yeah.
It's,
I mean, you can have all 4 seasons in about 20 minutes
Twice.
sometimes.
yeah, it was, but again, it's just the support of the people out there. And like I say, the power station where you're running out in the industrial estate is the most miserable bit, but everyone who lives in Brighton and Hove knows, so they purposefully go there. And they're there with their oranges and their sweets and their salt snacks and stuff like that, because you need salt snacks.
Yeah.
Because you're sweating and your body needs salt.
Regardless how cold it is.
I got back to the hotel to pick up my bag. I went into the toilet just to sort of wash my face and whatever. And I looked in the mirror and my face, like, I have white all over my face,
Right,
like dry
yeah,
salt all over my face. Like, I'm a really salty sweater.
Yeah, I used to be.
Loads.
I probably am still.
And yeah, I was just covered in salt all over my face. So I was like, oh, that's why it hurt when I wiped my head. So I'm just rubbing salt into my head.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'd be like that. I used to, when I was working in warehouses and stuff, in loading bays and what have you, I used to get home after a shift, and like whatever shirt I was wearing, would be it like the red Wicks shirt or whatever I was wearing down in TJ Hughes, just big white patches all over it.
Where you sort of dried into,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. I was like, oh, that's why people were staring at me. It wasn't because I was proudly wearing my medal and my tinfoil blanket.
It's because I look like I've rolled around in a box of salt.
Carrying a pint of warm, non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. It's lovely, lovely beer.
Yeah.
Really nice. I was talking to someone in the course. I was like, oh, and you get this really nice non-alcoholic beer. He goes, yeah, I've heard everyone's raving about that beer. It's like, it is really nice.
What is the beer?
It's like alcohol-frei, I think it's called.
Yeah.
It's like I think it must be, I don't know if it's German or Dutch.
Yeah.
Alcohol-frei, I think it's called. I've got a can of it in my fridge at home. Because you're walking down, you've got your finishing bag. No, sorry, it's not when you... Yeah, it is when you get your race bag, which has got your change of clothes in it.
Okay.
And you put stuff in you don't want and you change your clothes. But as you're walking up, like, because it's really well designed, you cross the finish line, but then there's like another sort of quarter of a mile to walk because they don't want you to stop.
No, because you need to
keep
down.
walking to let your muscles. I mean, you cool down completely
Well,
anyway because of the wind. But as you're walking, like, there's tables both sides lined with stuff that people are going, have this, have 2 of them. Here's a different flavour, have 2 of those as well. And they're just filling your bag up with goodies. Like, you get vitamin gummies, there was like a shampoo or a hair serum or something. There's like alcohol-free beer, there's like the energy drinks and energy tablets and just loads of free stuff. And just keep dumping it in your bag.
But again, you probably need it, don't you? That's the thing.
Yeah, there's like recovery bars and things like that. It's fantastic. It is such a good experience. I think everyone should do it, but when there's that stat that kept getting thrown about that only 1% of people have done a marathon, it's like, that's mad.
Yeah, you're in the 1%, man.
Yeah,
you're in the 1%.
Yeah, not the right 1%.
Not the one that would make you, set up for life.
Yeah, not that one. That would actually allow me time to train properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About it.
Anyway, it is great. I'm going to spend like the interim actually conditioning my body to be able to cope properly. I've realised that when I go out on my easy runs, my heart rate just spikes.
Right.
Like I can't.
You can't control it back
when you're
down.
doing an easy run, your heart rate should be like around. When you're doing your easy recovery runs, your heart rate should be like below 140. And I run as slow as I possibly can, and my heart rate's hitting 150.
Right.
It's like, that's not right. So.
But I suppose Doesn't it depend on your physiology as well? Like...
It does. It definitely does. But I'm someone that sort of kind of runs marathons. My heart should be okay.
Yeah, but as well, like, do you do a lot of running?
Well, probably not. And I work shift work, so my heart rate's going to be unnaturally high anyway, because I'm going to be tired constantly.
Yeah.
But I also, and I didn't tell you this, but last time we were together, which was like over a month ago.
Yeah.
I actually brought a push bike.
Oh, right.
To get to work and back, so I do that a couple of times a week.
Okay.
And it's crazy how quickly you improve on a push bike. I suppose it's because I had to get used to gearing again.
Yeah.
But the first time I cycled to work, it took me over half an hour.
Yeah.
The last time I cycled to work, it took me 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I always found biking as well, is like you can really quickly improve.
I mean, the other thing that helps is I have to do Willington Street, which if you're listening to this and you don't know Willington Street, it's like a valley of a road. And it is a really steep hill.
Yeah.
The first time I went down it, I think I was very, very tentative, and I was like constantly on the brakes, and I think about 16, 17 miles an hour. The last time I did it, in all fairness, the last time I did it, I was rushing to work because my car battery was dead. So I went to start my car, so oh fuck, I've left it too late to cycle to work. Let's try and get to work on time. So the first time I went down Willington Street, probably like 17 miles an hour. The last time I went down Willington Street, I hit 30 miles an hour on a push bike. That was terrifying.
It's good, that.
It is. It's terrifying.
It's like going down Bluebell Hill. You can hit some speed going down there.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's terrifying going that fast on a bike. And the thing is, I need to take it back to Halfords to get you're supposed to do it after like 6 weeks to get adjustments once the bike's broken in. Yeah. And I haven't. But the thing is, they didn't build it for me either because I wanted to get it home because I needed to be home for Chloe. So I was like, no, I'll just take it in the box and set it up myself.
Ah, right, yeah.
And then I'm going 30 miles an hour on it. I'm like, I hope I've set this up properly.
Yeah. I wouldn't massively trust the Halford guys anyway because they talked up mine. Yeah. And the first time I took it out, the handlebars were loose. And I was going up like hills, and so you come out of the saddle and your handlebars twist, and you're all of a sudden you're like.
I did that to my bike as well.
Yeah, it's not fun because then you have to I was at the furthest point away from home.
So to get home with your loose handlebars.
Yeah,
that's what I did. It was at work that I realised they were loose.
Yeah.
And so I had to go down Willington Street with loose handlebars.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Luckily, there were some blokes in a pub, some more cyclists in a pub halfway round.
Have you got...
I was like, have you got anything? Allen keys, wrenches, whatever.
I brought...
they did, luckily.
A couple of weeks ago, I brought a little... toolkit from puncture repair kit with the spanners, like your standard size spanners and 10 mils and that's in my bag.
Yeah,
and my pump is in my bag.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got everything in my bag.
Yeah. Whenever I go out on any kind of bike, I have to have all that stuff with me because you just never know.
It's one of those sports where you need to.
Yeah.
You need something with you.
Yeah.
Because something could break. And you're fucked.
And you could be fucking miles
because you don't go
away.
short distances on a bike. I mean, my furthest is like work and back, which is 4 miles.
Yeah. But I used to quite regularly do like 30.
Yeah.
And if you break down 15 miles away, it's a long walk back.
I suppose it's the equivalent of needing a shit halfway around a run when you're a runner.
Yeah.
That's why I've always got a pouch with me now, and it's got tissues and wet wipes in it.
Yeah.
I've learned from my mistakes.
Yes, indeed.
But cycling's fun, isn't it?
Yes. I really enjoy cycling.
It is really fun. I do like it.
I need to get back out and do more of it, actually.
But so the reason I did that as well is because I'm very aware my body now is... Well, because I can't train as much as I want to with the running. So days when I can't run, I will just cycle to work and back. And that's like 40, 50 minutes of cardio work. So it's cardio. So that's going to help my... that will help my heart rate, but also it's low impact cardio. Yeah. So I'm not completely damaging my body. So I can replace 1 or 2 runs a week with cycling.
Yeah.
And it will help my turnover rate with my feet, my cadence. And that's the fun thing, is that when you're going sort of like 20 miles an hour and your feet are hardly moving on the pedals because you're in the lowest gear possible. I do need to get because I don't know how to adjust gears on my bike.
Right.
And on my right hand, I don't know what it's the back cogs. I can't get into the 7th gear.
Okay.
I get into it and it's just like tick, 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 so I need that adjusted, and I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that either.
So that's why I need to take it to Halfords. Plus, I took out the cover, like, because I did it the cycle to work scheme. You get a year's free servicing anyway, so you can take it in and get it adjusted as much as you want.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But then because with cycle to work, it's like I want 250. So it's not an expensive bike. I want £250, and like the woman's like, you have to spend. You're going to get charged for 250, so you have to spend 250.
Right.
You might as well spend 250. I was like, okay, I'll get that. I'll get that. And then it's like, you've still got this much money. I was like, all right. And she went, you could take another 2-year service contract. I was like, yeah, 3 years service contract.
Sure.
Why not? And it's going to cost me like 20 quid a week.
Right.
Like for the year.
Yeah.
To pay it off. So I can take it to Halfords whenever I want.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's
get
really
it serviced and adjusted, and I think there's free puncture repair if I need it. I don't need it.
Yeah, you might.
yeah. When my puncture repair kit runs out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and cycling's just fun. It's yeah. So I brought a lock for it, and she's like, "You've still got this much money?" I was like, "Fuck it, I'll get a heavy duty lock then."
Yeah, why not?
I brought some lights. She was like, "You got much more money?" And I was like, "I'll get the more expensive lights then. I'll get the rechargeable ones instead of the battery powered ones."
It's tricked out.
My front light is fucking bright.
Get spinners and smokies.
Yeah, I don't know the name for it. I was like, I got those little beads.
Used to get them in like packs of Monster Munch and stuff.
I also brought a deck of cards and some clothes pegs, so it can sound like I'm riding a motorbike. Can you imagine that? Fucking going that speed with fucking deck of cards. Sound like you're riding a moped. Anyway, yeah, so I do want to eventually. I tried to convince Chloe because she's got a really nice road bike. Well, we both got hybrid bikes, so they're not mountain bikes, they're not road bikes, they're sort of the between ones.
Yeah.
So they're like road bike tyres but thicker.
Yeah.
But they haven't got the grip of a mountain bike.
Yeah.
Like what tyre? So she got a push bike, and I was trying to convince her to sort of go for a ride around Moat Park with me. I got her to cycle to the post office and back. It's the sorting office, and it's like, yeah, come on.
Okay, right.
In the road. You know, just stick to the side. Yes, when cars go past you, it is terrifying the first couple of times. Not as terrifying as going up Willington Street with a fucking bin lorry behind you.
Yeah.
Sort of like... It's like he needs to try and get some speed up because he's a lorry, and I'm there and go...
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Or one that I had before, which is I was overtaking a bus parked in a bus stop, and as I was doing it, an articulated lorry came the other side of me.
Oh,
I had something like 5 inches on either
Jesus.
side. That was scary for about the second and a half that it happened.
But it felt longer.
Yeah. It was like the opening crawl of Star Wars, you know, got that.
I'm now at that point where when I'm either not cycling so much, when I'm in a car and I'm really conflicted whether to call a cyclist a wanker or not.
This is why I don't call cyclists wankers unless they're blatantly doing something arsehole-ish.
It's real conflicting now, isn't it? Because I'm riding my push bike and I'm like, oh,
that's why people do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had this thing where I was approaching it's a 2-lane roundabout. I wanted to go straight over, but I'm the cyclist, and it's like,
what do I do?
Which lane do I use? Yeah. Where do I sit? Because if I sit over to the right-hand side of this lane...
You're not getting across.
These people are going to be pissed off with me because I'm not pulled over to the left. But if I stick to the left and somebody wants to turn left, take the first exit while I'm going across, then this person might hit me, which they almost did.
Yeah.
I'm like, did I have my hand? Was I indicating I'm taking this exit? No.
Yeah.
Was I ahead of you at the roundabout? Yes. You wait to see what I'm doing.
Exactly.
You wanker.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He went round me. And then I was at the point where I was cycling to the left, and then the lane splits, and I want to turn right to go up Newcut Road. So I've got my arm out to the right. I look behind me. There's a car coming. I was like, I've got my arm out. I start to move over. He goes round me, and then back into the left lane.
Yeah, wanker.
What a wanker!
Right? Yeah, no. I had it once. I was cycling into town, and you come in past Maidstone West Station towards
Road.
Society Rooms.
Maidstone
East. Sorry,
yeah.
East. Past Society. Like,
you got the corner.
And you got the corner, and we were the traffic lights were red.
Yeah.
and I was obviously going down and round with the road.
Yeah.
And there's a car behind me, and we take off from the traffic lights. I'm in front of this guy.
You're in front of him, yes.
Yeah, and I'm not making any signal, so where am I going?
Well, because the road follows round.
Yeah, so the road follows round to the right.
Yeah,
but
you need if you want to
on...
go onto the high street, you should indicate left technically.
Yeah.
Because it's a turning.
And also it's a half pedestrianised zone.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't be going on there anyway.
Well, yeah, that's true. Depending on the time of the morning.
Yeah. And
anyway.
this was during shopping hours on a Saturday or a Sunday,
shouldn't have been
so
going
I shouldn't
up
have been going that way. Didn't expect him to go that way, and he overtook me as I was turning. So I called him a fucking wanker.
Yeah.
And I carried on round into Earl Street to lock my bike in Earl Street.
And he went down the side of the road by KFC?
Yeah, he did, yeah. And he came and found me and was like, what the fuck did you call me a wanker for? And I was like, you fucking cut me up, you cunt.
Yeah.
You were behind me at the traffic, and he just wouldn't have it. He was like, no, you're a fucking wanker, mate. Don't call me a wanker. Like, rah. And I'm like, but you're in the wrong, you fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
Like, you were behind me at the traffic lights. I was going with the road. You were turning left.
Yeah.
You fuck.
You were turning left where you're not supposed to at this time of the day.
Overtaking a cyclist who is going straight on.
Yes.
And crossing the fucking...
Yeah.
It really winds you up.
Yeah.
And so this is why, like, I never ever have a problem with cyclists unless they're blatantly being idiots.
Yeah.
And very few actually are.
Yes.
That's the thing.
And the other thing I've learnt now, and I'm conscious of as a car user, is I really should give cyclists a lot more room than I do.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, when you're driving, you're like, oh, that's plenty of room.
Yeah.
But until you're on a bike and somebody goes past you, you're like, oh shit, that's really close.
Yeah.
You think it's loads of room in your head, but you're not taking into consideration the fact that that drain cover that's approaching might be really dodgy for that cyclist to go on, so they might go round that drain cover.
I go round drain covers all the time, and it pisses people off.
Yeah.
But I don't want to buckle my wheel, thanks.
Yeah. So it's really fucking... So it's like there's a lot of stuff in the side, like the edge of the roads that we don't see as car users because they're nothing.
Yeah.
But as a cyclist, like if you've not spotted that and you go, that hurts.
Yeah, it
If
does.
you haven't spotted it, that really hurts.
It can jar your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders.
And if you're not stood up on your, if you're actually sat on your saddle,
all the saddle sore. The saddle sore.
The first couple of times I rode the bike.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? And also, if you stop doing the bike for a little while, that'll happen again.
Yeah,
it's like a callus.
Yeah, it really is. It really hurts. And I was thinking, oh, my saddle's too narrow. So just no, your perineum is not used to this kind of punishment. Some people's is. Mine's not. It's not a comfortable exercise. No. Again, any exercise like running hurts, cycling hurts.
Everything hurts until you get used to it, and then you push yourself a bit harder, and it hurts a bit more, and that's the point, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. So. Anyway, so the marathon, that's why I missed the last episode.
I was on the stag do for my mum's fiance's one. Yeah. And came away with a few bruises and stuff myself from karting.
Oh, you go-karting?
Yeah, we went go-karting
before the drinking.
Up in Essex, before the drinking.
Yes.
That was good fun. Then we went down to Tunbridge to play foot golf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which was all right. I probably would never do it again.
Not being a fan of football.
Well, not even that. It was just the best thing about it was kind of wandering around with my brother, my uncle,
chatting.
And my cousin, just having a chat and kicking a ball about. Because we were like, I can't remember the last time we, all four of us, got together and kicked a ball about. It must be 20-odd years.
Yeah. Was it Sean?
We did this. No.
Oh, not Sean.
No,
okay.
The other side of the family.
Okay, because I say you don't see him very often either. Well,
kicking a ball.
I don't know. I don't know what he's into. But your other uncle.
No,
right.
So that was quite cool. But we were in one of the Wetherspoons, and it was down in Tunbridge where like the wharf is and all that. And
oh, really?
So it was like, this is I remember this back in the day.
I had a moment yesterday where I was like, I really miss playing music.
Yeah.
Oh well.
You're getting to a point though where like Chloe's getting old enough that you could start coming back into the fold.
Exactly. That's where my mind was going. But I'm at the age now where it's bound to be a covers band.
Yeah.
What could I possibly write lyrically that's going to resonate with people who go out gigging?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I know. It's like one of the guys.
like a punk song about shift work and the perils of shift work.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna sell.
There's a lot
is
of old bloke punk bands still out there. Believe me, playing in Swamp Stomper, I've met a lot of them. And yeah,
it's like you're either gonna write about the perils of middle age.
yeah.
Or you're going to be a middle-aged guy singing about blowjobs and girls.
Yeah, which I don't think is...
Like, when you listen to Blink-182, it's like, they're great music and stuff, but...
You wouldn't want to be singing them in your 40s, would you?
Yeah, like when they sing songs like Damn It, and you're like... It's a great song, but you're 40.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the same.
It should be left in the past, shouldn't it, really? It's either that or you go political.
Yeah.
You know.
Which we could quite easily,
We could.
to be fair. Quite easily, yeah. So, and I actually have been talking to Corky recently as well.
Have you?
Yeah. Because I don't know if you saw my Facebook posts. I brought a PlayStation VR.
Oh, yeah.
Halloween's going to be fun this year. I brought PlayStation VR. So I brought PlayStation VR, which is great fun. But the camera, I've lost the it didn't come with the
your
camera
3D
mount.
printing.
And I found a plan for it online. I need it printed. Corky's got a 3D printer, so we were sort of talking about it, like messaging through Facebook.
Yeah.
So I'll have to meet up with him at some point to collect it or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's all sort of, the roads are converging, aren't they?
Again, how many years is this now?
I know.
Yeah. Probably about
So
it's probably about right, isn't it?
Yeah. So a decade tradition.
Yeah.
Like,
Get back together, play a couple of gigs,
and then we're like,
fuck
nah,
off
fuck
into the
it.
evening,
Yeah. But it's I don't know where we were going. You were talking about being at the wharf and stuff.
Yeah.
Or in that area.
And then after that, it was out into town in Maidstone.
Yeah.
Which was weird, man. Like, I'm not into it anymore. Like, me and Dom were easily the youngest there by quite a way. We went into the Shamrat and had a curry, and then a few of us went out into town, went to the Brenchley, and that was a complete fucking meat market on a Saturday night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, it's just,
Yeah, so just before Christmas, a few of us from work went out for a drink. I had a great night. Like, the group I was with were, like, really fantastic. Like, you know what they say about nurses and medical? Like,
yes, I do. I've met nurses on nights out
they
before.
drink.
They fucking hammer it, man. Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Like, brilliant night. So we went to, like, the Brenchley, and then we ended up going down to Beer Keller, which I hate.
God, really?
But we didn't go down to where the tables were. We stayed up by the top end, near the top bar. And we were just us. There's a few. I think there was it would be where they were like little tables, but they weren't. And we just sort of stayed up there and just stuck together as a group. And a really great night. Got very fucking messy. And like my team leader, like she just kept buying me drinks. She just like, have another stein, have another stein. I was like, I don't really drink beer. It makes me ill, but fuck it, I'm already drunk. So. Yeah, but the people that were out were kids.
Yeah, no, I know. And like not really wearing very much at all either. Like I don't know what.
I don't know. It was just before Christmas, so they obviously for the time of year they weren't wearing a lot.
Yeah,
but probably more than they're wearing
this
now.
This was ridiculous. Like 2 Saturdays ago. Like,
as a youngster, you would have loved it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but as an old person, you just feel like a fucking pedo.
Yeah. It's horrible, isn't it?
But there was also this guy, right?
I feel a story.
It's not really, but like there was this bloke who came into the Brenchley, and he was wearing a thong and like a leather belt with like handcuffs and shit,
right,
hanging off it, and then like a rainbow knitted crop top. He had like a drawn-on moustache, like cum catcher moustache,
yeah,
and like like wrap round glasses with no lenses in,
Yeah.
and I think he had some sort of bandana on and a sweatband or a sweatband. I can't remember.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And like I think he was wearing flesh-coloured tights as well because he's not stupid.
Yeah. I can tell from what you've said so far.
Yeah, was just kind of wandering around, like talking to groups of people.
So he wasn't with anyone?
No, he was on his own. And I'm always a bit like wary about guys like that because you're like, if you like, don't take the mick out of that guy because he's probably hard as nails.
Yeah.
If he's going around like that, but it was odd because like he'd go up to people and then they'd kind of motion him away, and then he'd go to another group of people and they would motion him away.
Yeah.
And then he got to a group of, I think it was guys and girls, who were a couple of tables across from us, and then started giving this girl a lap dance and like really kind of getting up in her face and stuff, like doing press-ups between tables with his arse in her face.
Yeah.
Kind of stuff.
Okay.
And we were just like, this is weird.
Quite surreal, isn't it?
Yeah, this is bizarre. So, like, not just because of that, but because of the meat market nature of the place and the fact that Brenchley is loud. Because it's one big room. It used to be a banking hall, didn't it? It's got a domed ceiling.
It's not loud. Like there's no like there is music, but it's not like mega loud music.
No,
it's not that. It's just a cacophony of voices.
Yeah,
it's just
because it's such a big room. You've got to talk louder than usual anyway because your voice disappears up into that dome.
It's very, very high ceilings.
Yeah, and so everyone's bellowing at each other.
But then those voices are hitting the ceiling and coming back down.
Yeah, the acoustics aren't right, really.
It's weird, yeah.
It is a strange... I quite like it.
It used to be the NatWest Business Bank, didn't it?
That's right, yeah. I like it as a kind of architectural... And
it's a really nice pub, actually,
when it's quiet and you're having a little meal or something in there.
Really nice food, really nice pub.
Yeah.
The outside space is really nice as well.
Yeah. But when you get loads of people in there, it's so loud.
Friday or Saturday night, it is a bit much.
So we decided to wander down to Drake's to see what was going on down there, but there was a band on in there and it was really quite loud as well. And we were like... So there was a band on in Earl's, and we went into Druids. There was also a band on, but inside you can't really. Like,
you can't
it was best of both. You can just about hear it.
Yeah, Druids. The band's playing the courtyard. It's a covered courtyard, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in the actual pub itself is
But this bloke came into Druids.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And started wandering round asking for and we could then hear him.
Yeah.
As he wandered round, he was asking for like £1 to do a lap dance for people. That was just what he was doing all night, apparently.
He's the sort of guy I would want to have a conversation
with.
It would be like...
What's your deal,
Give us £1 for a lap dance. I'm like, I'll give you the £1, but can you sit and talk to us for 5 minutes instead? Because I want to know what the fuck is going on.
What's your deal, dude? Like, what's with the knitted...
What's going on?
Yeah. Bizarre. Very strange. But
it just seems like if he's the sort of guy that would give a lap dance, like dressed like that with a lap dance for £1, he's the sort of guy you probably wouldn't want his arse in your face.
No,
not that you'd want a guy's arse in your face anyway,
but still,
you really wouldn't
you get
if he's underselling himself that much, undervaluing. It's like that's the sort of guy that is desperate for the money for a reason.
There was something that went through my mind that maybe I should pay for one for Nigel, but
it was his stag.
I didn't.
So was it a stag that was quite a way out from the wedding, or has the wedding happened?
The wedding happens in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time?
Yeah, so it was like a month away. The hen do happened this Friday, just gone.
Right.
Which, my mum was taken to an ABBA tribute night.
Nice.
Yeah, classy.
That'd be cool, though, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
shit. I'm at that age where, oh my god, that pub's too loud. ABBA tribute night sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I've turned into my dad.
They are something old, though, aren't they? I mean,
Definitely turned into my dad.
But yeah, so that's all happening. I've written my speech. The speech is done.
Oh, nice.
Probably do a second draft of it at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah. So everything's ready.
At least you weren't like me, who I finished my my groom speech the morning of. Yeah.
Well, I wanted the whole of last weekend to sit down and properly take a crack at it.
Yeah.
Because it was the bank holiday weekend. We had 4 days.
Yes. Some did.
Yeah. So on the Monday, I finished boarding the loft.
Oh, nice.
It was 25 degrees outside.
Ouch.
Yeah.
No more squirrels, though.
No more squirrels. The roof's been fixed as well, so definitely no more squirrels. But yeah, it was like a fucking sauna up there.
Yeah.
But that morning I'd woken up with like a really, really bad sore throat.
Oh, shit.
Like really bad. Which is always the herald of something terrible.
Of course you did, because you had some time off.
Yeah, exactly,
So-
yeah. And Joe had been ill the week before because it was half term.
Yeah.
The next morning we went down to one of the micro pubs in town and had a couple of beers and hot dogs. They do these amazing hot dogs down
Oh, really?
there. So messy.
Oh, good.
We had ones with, it was hot dog, bacon, mozzarella, and some other stuff. So like when you bit into it and drew it away, it just string.
Yeah.
The cheese was really stringy, messy as hell.
Hungry.
Yeah, no, tell me about it. And then the next morning. I didn't sleep hardly at all that night because every time I breathed in, it was like a little ember of fire was burning in my throat. It was horrible. And then the next day, I just had sinus pressure and everything, and it still hasn't really.
Every time you sniffed, it felt like your head was going to explode. Yeah.
I
hate those.
Yeah. So I missed most of Saturday because I just needed to sleep and not do anything. Sunday was miserable as well.
Yeah.
Then by the Monday, I think I dragged myself off down to my parents and had an afternoon down there.
Yeah.
With everyone, and just about felt better for work on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But not really. I still felt
not great.
Yeah. It's been a bit of a crap bank holiday really last weekend. But by the Monday, I was like, right, I've got to do everything that I haven't done over this weekend. So I sat down and wrote my speech, learned a couple of new songs for the band.
Yeah.
And went and saw my folks. So it's just, so that's why I sound a little bit bunged up and a little bit sniffy, a little bit coffee. Ugh.
A little bit dodgy.
A little bit dodgy.
Fucking hell. Yeah, that's just right, because you said a little bit, it's Harry Enfield, isn't it?
Yeah.
A little bit dodgy.
Yeah, geezer.
That reminded me, because we were at work and somebody said something in the staff base, and I just went, charity, mate. Oh, because of the Brighton Marathon thing, I said about charity and stuff like that. I just went, charity, mate. And then one of the nurses went, that's a blast from the past.
I did it the other night at band practice. I was coughing and then just went, arse. And this guy there, like, he was one of the guys looking after the recording studio, started laughing. It was like, I haven't heard that in fucking ages. And then we just went off on like far show stuff.
Yeah.
Like, brilliant.
Yeah. Aunt Mum's great. I think did I say that in the Mother's Day episode?
I think so,
yeah. Aunt Mum's great. Poor Whitehouse. Yeah. I don't know. I was listening, because my podcast listening doesn't happen very often now, and I'm just like swipe, like just delete things because I'm never going to listen to it, never going to listen to that. But I was actually almost caught up, so listening to Richard Herring on the way up here, the James Acaster episode.
Yes.
It's funny. It's funny. I miss so many podcasts. Gonna miss another podcast, which I didn't realise was happening because, again, I haven't listened very often.
Oh, no.
But chat you've been having on Twitter with somebody who's now no longer podcasting. Dark Angels Pretty Freaks.
Oh, yeah.
From what I understand, they're just YouTube now.
Yeah.
Because I haven't listened, I don't know what's going on, but...
Yeah, this is Annalise was saying on Twitter that was going to be the last one.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I've been listening from very early days,
very
if not
early.
the first one. And they've been going every single week for 5 years. Like,
yeah, they're better than us.
They, well, I don't know. But,
More consistent.
Yeah,
I used to love, when I was working in the factory, I used to love listening to their conversations.
Yeah.
It's just really nice, sort of wholesome. I mean, he stopped doing the weather updates, which I missed. Really missed that. But yeah, they were really nice. Yeah, and then they was it last year or the year before, they started sort of entering into the YouTube sort of world of it and doing vlogs, didn't they? And
Yeah,
they were doing
that's
like
right.
tech reviews and things like that because
And
they
like
spent too much money
unboxing
on
and things like
spent
that.
too much money on technology and stuff. But yes, but then I saw you started having Twitter conversations with Annalise, because I haven't been able to listen for a while now since I left the factory, really.
Yeah, essentially,
And-
like
Yeah.
sorry, mate.
No, but yeah, and you were saying you hope they don't stop, and then they released the next episode. Said this is the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, essentially, like 2 episodes before the end, Neil was saying that he just wasn't feeling it anymore, and actually they want to spend some time together that isn't like, or like talk about things that during the week that they otherwise wouldn't, because their show is basically all about them. Like,
Yeah,
it
the
was
stuff
them
they do.
sitting down as a couple and talking about their week, essentially, really.
Yeah, driving. I remember driving. Was it when it was really snowy once? And I think Annalise was like driving to work, and she works sort of
Skywalker Ranch.
Skywalker Ranch,
like,
but it's like quite treacherous
Yeah,
roads
yeah.
and it's snowing, and and I think just attempt to pick up a hitchhiker once.
something
or
with a
something.
cheese knife, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was something with a cheese knife, wasn't it? Yeah. But yeah, so like it's just really nice story.
Like you say,
to listen
quite
to.
wholesome.
Yeah.
And it'll be. It's one of those things, isn't it? Like you get used
Hear me
to.
now.
Yeah.
Sorry. The sound board.
And you just get used to hearing people's voices. It's been quite sad over the years because we've had really good friendships with certain podcasters.
Yeah.
And then they go away.
Yeah.
And you're like, I kind of miss their voices.
Yeah. And you do. It's weird. And again, like you say, with them, they're wholesome. It's just husband and wife
Yeah.
talking every week about their lives, and you get to know them in a sense. You get to know that side of them because obviously you don't know the real person because you don't hear you do hear some of the bad stuff. To be fair, like I know a couple of months ago when Neil opened up about his mental health issues. Things like that. So you do hear some of the bad side of it, but obviously you don't hear where they disagree and they argue.
Yeah,
Because obviously they're going to. Well, to be fair, they might not, because some couples don't. But you don't see that side of it, and it's what surprises people with like YouTube vlogging families. They film all the really good stuff, and then something happens. You're like, I didn't know. Of course not. You're not going to know.
Why
that
would
side
you
of
know
them.
that? Yeah,
They're not going to put out into the ether. Like there was the family that I listened to, the
Yeah.
Shaytards, who I used to watch like on a regular basis, and they're like a real nice. They're Mormon family, really devoted, really religious, lovely family, and they have really nice trips close to all their extended family take trips out to see them, etc., etc. And then it came out that like the dad of the family was messaging cam girls and saying all these fucking real disgusting things he'd like to do to them and stuff like that, and people are like, what the fuck?
Right.
And it's like, well, but you're not going to see that. He's
Of
not
course
going to
not.
announce that he does that.
Like, why would you do that?
And thankfully they sort of patching over that and repairing their relationship. You know. But like I was saying with Neil and Annalise, you sort of get to know that side of them.
Yeah.
And
it's like they even podcast while they're on holiday in Jamaica and things like that, you know. And even down to the fact that they organise kind of trips with other podcasters that they know from that kind of area. They all get together either in Jamaica or Reno or.
And if any
wherever
other
it is that they go.
podcasters are sort of travelling through that part of,
they'll put them up. And,
they'll put them up and go and take them out for dinner. There was that family, the YouTube vloggers that go around in their RV or something.
Yeah.
Like, and they were going through, so then they met up with them, and it's just like us with sort of Adam. It's just Adam.
Yeah, exactly. Or,
just really nice people. That you can't help but like. But yeah, you miss them. It's sort of like, oh, now what are you going to fill that space with?
Yeah, well, I said, you know, like the problem being is that like we've always been about 8 or 9 hours ahead of them. So like by the time we're recording this, it's the middle of the night for them.
Yeah.
When they're up, we're like
sort of settling down for the evening. Yeah.
So it's a tough one to try and sort out.
It's the issue we've had. I mean, they're further away time zone wise than like
Ironically,
Andrew and like the Nerd Church when we used to try and meet up with them, and Drunk Geeks when we tried to do like the live streams, like the mass recording.
Like actually,
that was difficult.
4 or 5 hours is more difficult than 8 or 9 hours.
That's true.
Because at least 8 or 9 hours, you've got that, oh, well, we're kind of in the evening, you're in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, there is a possibility of that.
That's true, yeah.
Whereas actually that 4 or 5 hours is even more difficult. I've found this out through travelling.
Right,
Because
yeah,
obviously
of course.
going away to, like, LA or whatever, it's much easier talking to Jo because she's going to bed as I'm getting up.
Yeah.
And when I'm coming in from a day at the convention, she's going to sleep. So there are 2 points during the day where we can catch up.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Whereas if I'm closer, like Austin was a little bit closer, so it was like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
That
was
was
a lot
more difficult. It was like you're leaving a message and then she'll return to it overnight.
Yeah, because as you're settling down for the night, or as she's settling down for the night, you're just going to work.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just missed that gap.
Yeah.
Or it might be vice versa, I'm not sure. Yeah, so you're just missing that gap. Yeah, that's true, actually. But yeah, because I think it was when I went to work. Hang on, what day are we on? Friday night, I think it was. And they did a live stream with somebody, and I was like, I might be able to catch that. What time is it? 1 o'clock in the morning. Potentially, I could catch that if I go on my break at the right time. I didn't go on my break at the right time, so I couldn't get to watch it. But yeah, it was. But it's that sort of time. It's at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's doable.
Yeah,
that's doable.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I suppose the way to catch them now is on Halos and Heathens, which is their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Which they will still be doing intermittently. And they've said, I think, on the podcast that it might be one of those things, like Neil's well into kind of his hair metal and stuff.
Yeah, because he was on multiple podcasts, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was on a Gotham podcast, Gotham Nights or something. And another one that I haven't listened to.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember the name of.
Yeah. It was a movie one, wasn't it? I can't remember, sorry. Weird.
But, yeah, so, what was I saying? Yeah, he was saying that he kind of wants it to be like, almost like a rock band, like in a year's time they might reform and do Dark Angels Printing Freaks again.
Yeah.
For like a comeback couple
just
of
take
episodes.
A break sort of thing.
Yeah.
A bit like we were talking about at the beginning.
Yeah. With our own band.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Trying to think of other things. It's Joe's birthday from the All Sing Guys today.
All Sing Guys,
so
Joe.
happy birthday to Joe.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
He's well, who knows what he's up to? Could be anything, right?
Probably getting very messy. From what he said.
Yes.
He sent us a picture. He was gifted a bottle of Jameson's, so it's probably going to get very messy.
His boss has given him Monday off.
And his boss made him take the day off work. Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what else have we missed?
There's been quite a bit, news-wise. It's all been, bombings and shootings. There was a shooting again today in a mosque or something in San Diego.
Fuck's sake.
It's all bad. I wanted to talk about other things though, because I don't really want to get bogged down in that. I've been watching Game of Thrones. I've started watching that from the beginning. We're almost at the end of series 3 now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been hitting it hard.
Yeah. I'm properly into it. Joe's less so.
Which episode of season 3 are you on?
We just finished episode 6. So there's a wedding coming up. But I don't know whether it's that one.
Okay.
I don't know whether it's that one.
Oh, okay, all right. And I can't remember because it all blends
Is the episode called The Red Wedding?
No.
Okay then.
It's not called The Red Wedding.
I have a feeling that it's coming up. Sorry, I've got...
Yeah, but the problem is with Game of Thrones, it all mashes into... So even though you're like, we've finished season 2, I'm like, oh, brilliant, what about... Oh, hang on a minute.
Oh, wait, no, did that
Which
happen?
season's that? Which series is that? Yeah, it's...
I don't understand how people can have followed it week by week, having to wait a week between each episode. Because even watching it back to back, sometimes you're like, hold on, wasn't he in prison last episode with his beard cut off and now he's back?
Who's that?
Some maester in...
Oh.
I think he might be dead now, but I'm not sure.
Probably.
The really old one, who's pretending to be infirm, and
oh yeah,
who isn't really
he's in King's Landing.
Yeah, that's right. And then
the one who's like, and then walks into his room. He's like, come on, then, Halls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, Tyrion doesn't like him, so he cut his beard off and sent him into the dungeons. And he was back in the next episode, and you're like, what? He was
What? How?
what?
Why?
And with no explanation.
Yeah. There are quite a few things that it's like that it never comes to anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, we don't know all the characters' names. I know more through osmosis.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of podcasts I've listened to.
So I was trying to find it because I was hoping somebody had done a compilation of it.
Right.
So I could post it to you. But on the Rooster Teeth podcast, they had their own names for people.
Yeah, that's what we've got.
So like Jamie Lannister, they for a couple of series they were calling him the cousin fucker.
Right.
Because they couldn't remember his name. You got the little shitty what was it, like not the bastard dwarf, but the miserable grumpy dwarf or something, or it's like just different names for people.
No, we either call them by their real names if we know
Actors,
them,
yeah.
the actors' names, or roles that they've played elsewhere.
Okay.
So for a while it's been Iron Fist.
Yes.
Because we
Iron Fist.
Yeah, but then because he's called Loris, he's now Slow Loris.
Slow Loris. I like that.
Who else did we not know the name of? I can't.
Because I saw Game of Thrones and then Iron Fist. I was like, he's the guy from Game of Thrones.
We were saying the other night, that would have been. That I can understand why people were weirded out by
that he was
him.
Iron Fist.
Yeah, because that's not Iron Fist, is it?
What do they call him? They call him the Flower Knight or the
something like that. Yeah. Because he's gay.
Well, it's because his family's.
But it's
emblem
also
is a flower.
because Dame Diana Rigg is really, really good.
Dame Diana Rigg,
she's so funny.
She's brilliant. She's amazing. Yeah.
Just doesn't give a fuck.
Dame Diana Rigg.
Because we don't know her name.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. What's the family's name?
It's
Tyrell.
So
he's Loris
the only
Tyrell.
reason I know that is because there used to be a Formula One team called Tyrrell. So
okay, right.
Tyrell.
Yeah, so he's. What was she? I'm trying to think.
She's the grandmother of the girl from the Hunger Games who was going to marry Joffrey.
Yeah. But I was sort of trying to think of her name. So he's Loris Tyrell.
Yeah.
She's
Marjorie
Tyrell, and Diana Rigg is
the grandmother Tyrell.
What's her name? Yeah, Nanny Tyrell. I can't remember her name.
No.
And I've been watching.
Yeah.
I'm like 8 seasons in now.
But we've been binge watching it.
And
we've seen
her.
We've seen her in 5 episodes, and we still don't know her name.
Yeah. The weird thing is, and it might not have happened, but so the other confusing thing about it is some characters they change the actor.
Yes.
Going through it.
That's happened in the Night's Watch already once or twice.
Right. Yeah. So they change the actor.
Yeah.
But when it gets really confusing is when they change the actor. For a certain character, or I think it's only one of them. They changed the actor, but the actor they changed to played a different character in the first series.
Oh, what?
But luckily, you probably won't notice.
Right.
But because they're not a central character, but it's what? What? Yeah, that's weird. And obviously, Lily Allen's brother's really good in it.
Yeah.
Lily Allen's Alfie Allen, who plays. He's part of the Iron Islands. He was Rob's best friend.
The one who then went back to try and take back
Winterfell.
And is currently being tortured.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the guy from Misfits.
Oh, that's Lily Allen's
By the guy from Misfits.
And he was the bad guy in Humans.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, that's where I know him from.
Right.
He was the nasty brother in Inhumans who tried to take over the moon.
Yes, and he's a bastard, isn't he?
Yeah.
So have you noticed as well that the surname of the bastards relates to which part of?
Yeah, because obviously Jon Snow was
from the north.
And
he's somebody I don't know.
I don't think I've found out his name yet. It was the episode last night where he was torturing him and he was trying to get him to guess why he was there.
Oh, okay.
And he slit open the guy's finger and started pulling the...
Yeah, degloving his finger.
Yeah.
Yes. So the guy who was Rob Stark's best friend
Yes.
is Alfie Allen, which is Lily Allen's brother.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, or Keith Allen's son.
Keith Allen's son, yeah.
Keith Allen being the guy who did Vindaloo and among other things. Fat Les, yeah. Keith Allen, who is Fat Les. Yeah.
Are you keeping up at home?
Yeah. I'm confusing myself. Oh, God.
But yeah, there's...
that is what Game of Thrones is. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, obviously you've got... I don't know if he's in it yet, actually. I can't even say.
The other thing that's quite cool is the whole Khaleesi thing, where she's just freed the army of Unsullied.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. And now she's just kind of challenging some other bloke with her dragons that grow like 5 times every single time you see them.
Yeah. Luckily, we don't know how quickly our dragons age,
No.
so, it's feasible.
But
yeah, it's pretty badass.
annoyingly, you start to get to like Jaime Lannister as well, because at the beginning you're just like, ugh.
What a bastard.
Ooh. But then as he kind of travels with Brienne, you're like, oh,
she's incredible, isn't she?
she's great.
She's brilliant.
Yeah.
Love her.
And now
which is why I'm so disappointed with what they did with her in Star Wars.
Well, that was the thing, wasn't it? Like, obviously, I didn't know. I knew she was a big deal in Game of Thrones because people were talking about her a lot. And there was a lot of hype about her being, what was her name in that? The Silver Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Phasma.
Captain Phasma, that's it, yeah.
And then you literally see an eye.
That's it, yeah.
That's all you see of her. And she gets put down a trash compactor in the first film.
Yeah.
And then
just
killed
dispatched quite quickly in the second.
Film. And it's like, well, why cast her and not use her properly?
It's so annoying. But, speaking of Star Wars, actually, I'm glad we got there. Like, don't draw attention to it.
There's a new trailer, wasn't there?
Yeah, we will say, because I know my dad doesn't want to see the trailer.
Right. Okay.
So
this
how
is
long is
2
the trailer?
minutes.
So from when we start to play it, press
just
that skip button. Skip forward like
4 times, 5 times.
Yeah, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, just to make sure. Actually, we're probably going to talk about it a bit afterwards as well. Maybe it should be the last thing we talk about.
Yeah, okay, let's get back to
We'll
that.
make it the last thing. So we will come back to Star Wars. It's going to be the last thing we talk
Yeah.
about, and then we'll say goodbye. So if you don't... I know, just for my dad's benefit, because he doesn't want to see it or hear it.
Absolutely, that's fine.
And I know there may be other people out there who do it. So, we'll say bye to those people early.
The other thing that I've been doing a lot of is playing Red Dead Redemption 2.
I haven't. I've been playing Beat Saber.
Right, yes, I've seen that.
So good. You look like a knob on the outside, but inside you feel like a sword master.
Yeah, sure.
It's incredible.
It does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've been finding weird things in the world now, because I've finished the story.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to complete all the hunting challenges and things like that.
So like get perfect pelts and things.
Yeah, I've gotten quite good at that.
Okay.
You learn how to do it properly after a while. Like
is it an arrow to the head, isn't it?
No, it's which weapons to use as well, because some weapons...
Is it different weapons for different animals as well?
Yeah, you got to study them, and then you learn which weapon would be best to kill this animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long journey.
Yeah.
But I've spent so long in the world that I'm starting to find weird shit.
Right.
I was riding out along some railroad tracks at night near Valentine one night, and a train started coming along, and it was a ghost train.
Oh, really?
Like, you could see through it. And I thought something had glitched, so I went on the internet, and they were like, no, it's a ghost train. It spawns there every couple of days.
At a certain time. And you just have to find it by accident.
I just happened to be there.
That's
which
cool.
was weird.
But they did that in GTA 5 as well. Rockstar are really good at that sort of thing. And did you see... Sorry, I know you will go back onto this, but did you see what they tweeted about Spider-Man, or the new story about Spider-Man?
No.
So there in certain parts of the city there are, like, I think, are they Hasidic Jews, or are they a different religion? I'm going to get this wrong now. I don't mean to offend anyone, but there is I think they might be Hasidic Jews that
The ones with
they'll
the
be
hats
sat.
and the...
They'll be sat at a table talking and I don't know, playing chess or whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
They'll be sat, but they don't spawn on a Saturday
Oh, right.
because it's a
okay.
Sabbath.
Right.
So they stay at home.
Interesting.
So if you play the game on a Saturday,
Yeah.
they won't be there.
Interesting.
It's really cool, like the details and the fact you can do that in games now.
Yeah.
Where it goes, read the system time. Oh, is it a Saturday? They're not there now.
So if
Because they're at
you're playing,
home,
if
it's the
you are
Sabbath.
playing it on a Saturday,
If you're playing it on a Saturday,
right,
they won't be there.
Yeah, because I was going to say there isn't a thing to say what day it is in the game, is
It's
there?
if it's a Saturday in the
That's-
real
yeah,
world.
Yeah. But that was stuff like the Arkham City.
Right.
Was that the one with
That's the
all the
second
villains in it, and there was Calendar Man down in the basement?
I don't know. Arkham City was the second one. Arkham Knight was the one where you get the tumbler,
I think it was
I
City.
believe.
Oh, I'm not sure now.
Anyway.
But you had Calendar Man, and he was being held in
Was Arkham City the one where it's a prison?
Cell, yeah. It's
The whole
inside
city's
the
a
city,
prison.
isn't it? Yeah. I think it was that one.
Right.
Yeah, Calendar Man was being held in a cell under a church or something.
Right, yeah.
And you go down and talk to him, and if you set your system for certain days, he'd have certain things to say about that day.
Oh, really?
Like if you could, because it was part of one of the trophies, I think.
Oh, right.
But you can trick it by changing the day
Changing the system
on your
date.
system.
Take
So,
off
like,
automatic.
Yeah, like you could set it for like Easter, and he'd have something weird to say about Easter.
Oh, wow.
And
That's cool.
there are also things that, like, I think if you set it up for the date that the first issue of DC Comics came out,
He'd tell you about
he'd
it.
tell you about. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Hmm.
But yeah, what other things have you found in Red Dead then? Just
Well, there's lots of little culty type shacks. If you go into
Right.
some of the shacks in the middle of nowhere, there are occasionally, like, there's one specifically that I found that's full of, like, it's got 6 bunk beds and each one is taken up with a skeleton, and there's an altar at the front of the thing next to the fireplace, and there's
Right.
someone there in like a priest's outfit, also all skeletoned up. And you can read letters that they've left there and stuff, and they're talking about being taken away and all this, you know.
just love how Rockstar builds.
However,
Okay.
I was in there at night a couple of the other day, and I'm walking around, and all of a sudden this green light appears.
Oh, wow.
I went outside and looked up, and this UFO just spears off up into space.
Oh, wow.
It was so weird. Like, there's just stuff like that. I don't know whether it triggers every time you're in there at night or
That's cool.
not. But yeah, there's just weird
That's really cool.
little
Do you
things
know
like that.
what you should do at points like this, though?
Screen save it. Yeah,
no,
yeah,
the share
it.
button and just
Yeah.
get the little clip and just build it up. Because if nobody's found that before,
Yeah.
you could share it online or something.
I just wasn't fast enough.
Yeah.
Because it took me so by surprise.
No, but if you click share,
Yeah.
then it gets the last 15 minutes.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But if you double tap it, it records from that moment.
Ah.
If you press share, it clips the last 15 minutes. So
Didn't know that.
yeah,
I will remember it from now on.
because somebody again, Rooster Teeth, they play it on Xbox and it's got a similar function. Or you just say Xbox clip that,
Yeah.
and it'll clip something. Or, but he said he was playing it, and he'd fallen off the horse before, in a weird way, when he was on his own, not thought anything of it. But then he did it when his fiancée was with him, and she really laughed. He was like, "Oh!" So he clicked it,
Right.
and the whole time he was playing the game, he clipped every time he fell off the horse, and he made a montage of it. And there's some weird ways you can fall off the horse.
Yeah.
There's one where he fell off the horse, like he clipped a surface, and it was weird. So when he fell off, he went up in the air, like it was a glitch.
Yeah.
And then he landed back on the horse, but like over the horse, not like sat on it.
Right.
So he's clipped that and just clipped things where he hits a fence and he shoots off the horse over the head. I should have clipped it because I've had things where I've slammed into somebody.
Yeah, me too.
But then you get a wanted level because you
Yeah.
kill that guy because you slam into him so hard, and then his friends are trying to kill you, and it's like, fuck's sake. But yeah, he's clipped every time, and it's like there's a show they do on Rooster Teeth called Game Time, where they sit and play a game and chat. It's like a podcast while they're playing a game. But this particular episode of it, where they're just going through their Xbox clips and just sort of talking about it and just watching them because it's funny. Yeah, because some of the weird stuff. But yeah, he clipped every time he fell off the horse in Red Dead Redemption, and it's like a 5-minute video, and it is funny.
Fair
it's just
play.
so funny. Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, there's weird things. I know, like in Red Dead Redemption, I think it's like a mission where you find like a bloody handprint on a rock, and I think you have to sort of investigate.
Oh, he's a serial killer.
Yeah,
this
so
person.
so you sort of that's part of the story. But these weird ones, like you say, with the UFO and the ghost train, and
are just weird happenings that aren't part of the game.
Because I know one of them in GTA 5 was like you go and stand on the mountain, and there's like a telescope, and if you point it at a certain point and zoom in, there's a ghost girl stood on the edge of a cliff.
Oh, right.
And then you go down there
to
that edge of the cliff, and then you find a clue for something, and and it's weird. And there's a mission, and I need to I think I've finished it. I need to figure out how to unlock it. But if you do this mission in GTA 5, it unlocks a weapon in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You
get like a hatchet.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That's pretty cool.
Because if you've linked it to your Rockstar account, then it
things transfer over. Ah, well.
Yeah.
I love that, but because it all started back in, I remember the first kind of Easter eggs that you started noticing were in like San Andreas.
Right.
San Andreas had weird stuff.
I never
like
played
you could.
San Andreas.
Did you not?
No.
Oh, it was really good. But you could go out into the desert, and there was like a ghost town out there, and if you were there at a certain time, like ghosts would appear.
Oh, really?
Or like there was a car that moved all on its own. There was no one in it, and stuff like that. And then you'd go up to what was the Golden Gate Bridge. If you flew up onto the top of that, there was an Easter egg that was literally like a sign in the sky saying there is no Easter egg here.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, it's well cool when games.
That's what
do
I love
things
about
like
Rockstar are good at that kind of thing. You know, they're so, because the worlds are so in depth, they can just put anything they want in there.
Yeah, so they do build lore. Like with that ghost girl in GTA 5, I think the whole point is you can go around and you find stories. Like, you investigate what happened to her. Like there's stories that link back, and you sort of get a life story of this girl and what happened to her. It's really cool.
Well, this is it. The other thing in Red Dead Redemption is like if you read the newspaper clippings, you can sometimes learn things about certain characters that you meet in the game. Yeah. Or don't meet, in fact. There's a missing princess from Luxembourg.
Right.
That's mentioned in a newspaper. And I met a bloke the other night at a camp. You know, you go to these camps and most of the time they tell you to fuck off. Yeah. But sometimes they invite you to sit down and talk. Yeah. And this guy was saying that he's been hunting this princess for ages, heard that she's somewhere. Yeah. And you're like, oh, right, so maybe I'll go there next. And you find another clue. And you're like, you know, people just talk. Like if you're in a bar or something, people just start talking about things in the background.
So in depth.
It's so clever. Good. But then what I've found is there's a trapper or a fence store. Right. In one of the other towns called Van Horn. And in the back of his room, in the back of his shop, there's a trunk with a royal crest on it with her initials.
Oh, really?
And like a couple of toys. Yeah. And you're like, well, she's got to be here. Yeah. But there's no one else. Like, there's no way you can get upstairs. Right. Okay. And so I wonder whether she's in that building. It's yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Because everyone in Van Horn acts aggressively as well.
Oh, okay.
It's a town on the kind of east side of the map.
So they're not going to help you?
No. Like, it's weird because, like, you can shoot people in that town and you don't get a wanted thing. Like, and everyone, if you start anything, if you look at someone strangely, they'll start...
So if you're riding past and you're like, morning!
Yeah, they draw guns. And then the whole town draws guns.
What the fuck do you want?
It's really weird. But,
like they're all hiding something.
Yeah.
Like a princess.
Yeah, like a princess. It's very strange. But, just that game's so in-depth. I've got to the point now where you can get the old map too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you can go and visit?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, the end... I didn't... I'm not
no.
the end of the game.
Yeah. I'm a long way off it, I think.
It's interesting.
I do want to get back onto it, but Beat Saber.
Yeah, I've downloaded the 3 Tomb Raider games and I haven't started them yet either. Got them all for about 25 quid.
Really?
Yeah, because one of them was free.
Have I got Shadow? I haven't got Shadow.
That was 50% off in the Easter sale.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So I've got Rise. I've got the first one and I've got Rise of the Tomb Raider. I haven't got Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
That was the only one I paid for. I think Rise I paid £5 for.
I think Rise, I don't think I've finished that, to be fair. Because something came out.
I've got years of gaming ahead of me now.
Yeah, and the Tomb Raider games are so good. Have you played the Uncharted games?
No. But it's basically that, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's really good. And it's one of those ones, it's like, don't just play Uncharted 4.
Right.
Because you'll miss not miss, you won't get the full benefit.
There's Easter eggs and stuff.
It's not so much that, it's the characters, like the development of the characters throughout the games. They're all in like all of the games.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. It's so good.
Yeah.
Like I would say, like it's just Tomb Raider with a guy, but it's not. Like the story is good because it's weird because it's like he's a treasure hunter.
It's basically Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider.
Yeah, he's a treasure hunter, and he sort of like goes and visits mythical cities and things like that. He's which is what she does as well.
Yeah.
But it's just
there's
different.
extra. Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is good.
Yeah. Yeah, I will be doing it at some point.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah. Talking of films with lots of characters that develop throughout. The spoiler cast this time round for you Patreons will be obviously Endgame, which we'll get onto in a little while.
Just got goosebumps.
But first, we'll say goodbye to Kev
and
anyone else,
and
who doesn't want to listen to us discuss the Star Wars trailer.
He won't be listening to the spoiler cast either, I don't think.
No, that's fair enough.
Yet.
Not yet, and we'll wait a while to put this one out. I know we didn't wait a long time for the Captain Marvel one, but it seemed kind of fitting that we released that just before Endgame came out. So sorry if we spoiled that for you, but really, if you hadn't seen it, you didn't care.
You didn't care enough to go and watch it. So yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to talk about the Star Wars trailer now.
Yes.
And on the spoiler cast, this episode is going to be probably quite an in-depth discussion.
It'll be a long one
on Endgame. It's a 3.5-hour film.
Yeah. But so bye to people who don't want to listen to the Star Wars trailer. We're going to talk about it.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
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 Bye. That was awkward.
5,
Have they gone yet?
4, 3, 2, 1. They should have gone by now. You should have gone by now.
If you haven't, then this is the Star Wars trailer.
Indeed. I don't know whether...
Which I saw on the big screen last night. Almost cried because I was just so overwhelmed.
They didn't show it in mine.
Well, no, because I spoke to someone before we went in. Someone I work with, she was there with their other half, and last night was his 3rd time seeing it.
Wow.
And I said, "Are there any good trailers?" He said, "Just the Spider-Man one." But the showing I went to, there wasn't a Spider-Man trailer.
No, I didn't get that either. I can't remember what trailers there were on during mine. Maybe
But the Star Wars trailer played. I got excited like a little kid, and I was just so overwhelmed. Sure. I almost cried. It's ridiculous. And then Liz laughed at me, and 2 seconds later, she almost cried because of a character.
But yeah, we'll play a bit now. Maybe we'll talk over the top of it. I don't know.
But
there's a lot of breathing heavy, which
this showed up, and I went, "Oh!"
Yeah.
Because.
So Rey's in the middle of the desert.
As
is
far
it
as
Tatooine?
trailer
Is it
goes,
Jakku? Is it?
This is it.
Is
we
it
don't
Jeddah?
know.
We're not sure.
As far as trailers go, this is amazing. We know that voice.
Yes, it's Luke, isn't it?
1,000 generations live in you now.
I'm getting goosebumps already. Just hearing it in the headphones. There's that TIE fighter sound.
But this is your fight.
Unmistakable sound.
Yeah. Every generation has a legend.
Because this is the end of the Skywalker saga. Like these 9 films.
So they'd have us believe.
Yeah. We've got the things the wrong way round because that went from left to right.
Oh well. No one's watching.
That
So
bit,
when she jumps up
that
and
bit,
over,
I almost cried at that. Wow, that's loud.
shall I take it down?
Yeah, I think it's loud on yours because it's not loud on the thing, but it's so like we could, in theory, turn that up and it would be clearer. It was too loud on your. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's distorting.
So you got Lando.
That's where Liz cried
Always be with you.
when she saw Carrie
Well,
Fisher.
yeah. The thing I'm not quite. So that's supposed to be
the
Sparta the
fucking Death
Star.
Star.
The Death Star. Yeah. I didn't get that the first time I watched it.
I did.
Like, what the fuck's that about?
That, and obviously we know it's called
Rise of Skywalker.
Now, so much to talk about. So that bit where she does the backflip over the TIE fighter. Now people are like, "Oh, whose gloves are those?" And it's Kylo.
Clearly.
I would imagine.
I mean, who else is?
Because you see him repairing his helmet as well.
Yeah.
Or you see someone repairing his helmet.
Yeah.
I would imagine it's him. But the gloves you've got to imagine is Kylo Ren.
Who else is it going to be?
Exactly. I mean, there's people. Oh, it could be like Darth Vader. No, it's not Darth Vader.
Yeah, why are
we
people
saw Darth
talking about
Vader.
that?
We saw his body being burned,
And his ghost.
and we've seen his ghost.
He's a
Like,
Force
he's
ghost.
dead.
He is dead. Why are people saying that?
I don't know. That's Kylo Ren. Those gloves are Kylo Ren. I
Has to
don't.
be.
It's people are trying to. Oh, it's all mysterious.
Like
It's
the whole thing about this has been it's Rey and Kylo. Are they going to end up together, or are they going to end up killing
Yes.
each other?
no. And he's trying to run her over with a TIE fighter.
Yeah.
And then she does a backflip over it, and in the cinema I almost cried because it was just so overwhelming. It was like the first time I saw that, I was like, "Oh my!"
It is a
fucking
very
God.
very cool shot.
That shot is incredible, and yeah, and in the cinema it's just too much. And then obviously you see Lando, and I forgot he was going to be in it.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw it, I almost,
It was cool.
it was so good.
What I don't get, they said that they weren't going to be using Princess Leia in it, and they weren't going to be CGing her, but she's there. So is that outtakes from the last couple?
This is it.
Like, what? How does that factor in?
Was that a shot from
From
The Last Jedi?
Yeah,
Was she? Yeah. Was
she was in
Yeah,
it.
yeah. No,
and
not The Last
They
Jedi.
were at the Force
No, not-
Awakens.
I think that might be. That looks similar to where they met in The Force Awakens. So I wonder if it's an outtake from that. Because we know that in the Star Wars trailers, and especially with JJ,
Yeah.
they put stuff in there that's not there,
Yeah.
just to throw you
And
off.
that's it, isn't it? A lot of it you got to take with a pinch of salt.
And this all the cards that popped up with the words
Yeah.
was all about people being there and not being there. Because you've got Luke's voice, you got Leia there. There wasn't any shots of Han though. So
No. True. But there was Emperor Palpatine's laugh at the very end.
and then at Star Wars Celebration, he came out on stage.
Yeah, so he's going to be in it. Maybe.
Because we didn't see him get burnt or anything, we just saw him get thrown
He got
down.
thrown off down the thing, down a big
Tube.
exhaust tube, maybe, I don't
Yeah.
know.
And we know
so-
people who end up down tubes can survive.
Yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
happened to 2 characters so far already.
Yeah.
1.5 characters so far already.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Solo, but I've heard about it.
Yeah.
So it's feasible that he did survive, which is cool. Now, Rise of Skywalker. Everyone's like, which Skywalker?
Rey. Every generation has a legend.
Possibly Rey. Is she a Skywalker? We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know yet.
We still don't know.
We still don't know if she's a Skywalker. However, Rise of Skywalker. Last Jedi. Jedi is a religion, a group of people. Rise of Skywalker.
Right, yeah.
Is that
people
the
are
new
talking
religion?
about this being the new religion, aren't they? Yeah.
Yes.
Like the Skywalker religion.
And the legend is
yeah.
Luke.
Luke. Yeah, it could well be. Could well be. I mean, he must come back as a Force
He
ghost.
narrates that.
Yeah, and that's not lines from a previous film.
No.
That is new lines.
So he narrates that trailer. Every saga has a legend. Luke has been that legend.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, because he was already at kind of mythical status.
Yeah.
At the beginning of Force Awakens, because
Yes.
they only find him at the end,
Yeah,
don't
at
they?
the end of
The
Force
whole
Awakens.
point of Force Awakens is to find
Yeah.
Luke.
Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, the new religion.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Because the way Jedi have been working, it's only been specific people, hasn't it? It's
Yeah.
only been certain people if their midichlorian count's high enough.
Yeah.
Um,
However, we found out.
however, you find out during The Last Jedi that it's in everyone because that
Yeah.
little kid with his broom handle at the end.
Yes. About that.
You don't like that, no?
No, I didn't.
Okay. You don't like that it's in everyone?
I just
everyone
didn't
has the
like
potential.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm playing with my little Star Wars toys, and now I've got.
It is. It is, yeah. It's a bit Disney.
Yeah.
A little bit Disney.
Yeah. I'm not interested in this.
Really?
Yeah.
Did the trailer not even sell you?
No. I can't.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
I can't get excited about Star Wars films anymore.
No.
I don't really like this new lot.
Oh, see, I am.
I liked Rogue One. That's the only one I've really, really liked so far.
It is. It feeds on your nostalgia so much.
That's what I don't like about it.
Because
Fuck off.
what
Tell me,
did I?
give me
What
new
was I
things.
doing the whole way through it? Oh, that fucking TIE fighter
Yeah.
sound. Oh, look, there's the Death Star.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's Lando.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Emperor.
I'm not.
It feeds on your nostalgia.
Yeah.
It does.
The Emperor should be dead.
Massively.
Why the fuck is the Emperor there?
We don't know.
I don't.
I don't want him.
No.
Yeah,
Give me new. Give me something else.
I get it.
You know, at least what George Lucas did with the prequels was try and tell a different story.
Yeah.
Try.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Didn't he?
And-
He didn't stick to fan service, and
No.
like, I get that. Like the whole point for some people is fan service, but the first film was too much like A New Hope. The second film, I'll go and watch it
Yeah.
because I like Star Wars. I like space. I like sci-fi. It's not like Lord of the Rings where I go fuck this shit.
Yes, I did. The first one I was very much like A New Hope. And obviously my defense or feeling for that was, well, because, you know, it's like Kylo Ren trying to emulate Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So I get that. So he just went bigger. It's the New Order. It's like, we can do it better than anyone. I get that. Last Jedi, I did come out of going, yeah, it was good. I liked it. But it wasn't like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't
I
that.
didn't like
there
the
was
whole-
certain scenes.
The casino bit didn't need to be
Casino
there.
bit was weird.
The running things were really
Odd.
like, that whole section was
But
pointless.
there were some touches of genius in there. Flying Leia was a bit weird.
Yeah, that as well.
Do you know, so, yeah, there were moments that I was like, it's a bit odd.
The cool manga destroying of the Super Death Star was cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah. Yes. That was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Where she shot through it.
Like, yeah, I
was great.
appreciate. I do like Star Wars, but
There are films that have done that, destroying ships in that manner. Have done it way cooler.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. She fucking destroyed everything. In Captain Marvel. We're not talking about
No, we're not talking about
Endgame. We're talking about Captain Marvel. But Star Wars did it first, and I don't know. Actually, Star Wars, how that was done was a lot cooler. I think, like, it was really cool. Stylistically, it was incredible.
The only thing that, like, the thing that annoyed me was just the pointless. Let's follow these people at the slowest speed possible, and just keep them slightly out of range. No, warp in front of them, not warp. Light speed in front of them.
Yeah, it's not Star Trek.
Yeah,
fucking
sorry.
hell.
Yeah. Mixing my stars.
Killing stars. You're trekking when you should have warred.
Yeah.
Trekking when you should be warring.
That
Sorry.
would have been the film over.
Yeah, yeah. But did I tell you it's very reminiscent of that Rooster Teeth again? The whole, you get $1 million, or $10 million, but there's a snail that's trying to kill you at all times, and it doesn't sleep. It's very reminiscent of that. Like, you have to sleep, but the snail doesn't. So you can get really far away from it, but then you sleep for 5 hours, and that thing is catching up with you. And if it touches you, you die, and it gets the money. You know, it's very reminiscent of that. Yeah, that was.
Don't get me wrong, there were cool things. The whole
the
thing
throne
with, like,
room fight.
The throne room fight was amazing. And the bit where Luke force projects himself and really winds up Kylo Ren.
It's brilliant.
It was just...
He just brushes his shoulder off.
A piece of genius.
Yeah.
And I know there's going to be a lot of genius in this.
Yes.
And like I say, I'm gonna enjoy it. I just can't get excited about it.
Yeah.
Like the shot where she does the backflip over the TIE fighter is amazing looking.
Yeah.
It looks fucking brilliant.
And to be honest, actually, you know, seeing that Death Star, piece of Death Star destroyed in the distance,
Yeah.
you are kind of like, oh, that's amazing. But then they've already done that
Yeah.
with a Force Awakens,
Yeah.
with the Star Destroyer
Yeah.
crashed on a planet.
Yeah. It's just bigger.
Yeah.
It's a bigger thing, a bigger piece of junk.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. I get the reservations.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for it though, because I'm a child.
No,
and I
Star Wars is your thing, man. Star Wars is your thing.
Nostalgia is a big part of my diet.
Like I say, I don't want to. I'm not here to ruin it. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't been excited about these last.
I've seen.
I didn't want to see Solo, but I eventually went and saw it anyway.
Solo.
It was all right.
Me. Yeah.
But it just didn't add anything. Like
not like Rogue One did.
No, Rogue One. Honestly, that's been the best of all 5 of these so far. Like, and
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee that I'm still going to like it better than this.
Yes.
Because
I was going to say I have seen better films.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Than the 2 Star Wars films.
Yeah. But Star Wars is your thing.
But I like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Any Star Wars.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Which is why I love Beat Saber.
Yes.
As well.
Because you're basically pretending to be a Jedi.
With 2 lightsabers.
Oh, what was her name? With the green dreadlocks. She had 2, didn't she?
She did, yeah. I
always used to play as her.
I like Star Wars, but I don't know names.
I always used to play as her in Battlefront.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because she has 2 lightsabers. Why wouldn't
Why
you?
not? Yeah.
That's
Oh
gonna
well.
annoy me, though.
Well, that's Star. I mean,
but, yeah. I mean, there's not much to say, really, is there? Because
No.
it doesn't give any kind of plot away at
Which is
all,
great,
really,
which is
is
perfect.
exactly what you want. It is a teaser. You know, like we've been saying, but also the best thing about these Disney ones lately, including the Endgame trailer,
Yes.
is that they put things in and take things out and mess around with you
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit.
massively so.
Yeah. So I think
We want to go and talk
we
about
should,
Endgame.
because we're
getting
burning
there.
to talk about that.
Yeah.
Take the Rise of Skywalker trailer with a little pinch of salt, I think, in some of those
Yes.
things. But
Yeah, definitely.
it does look like it's going to be epic.
It's gonna.
Like
it
the
has
scale
to
of
be.
it.
It
Yeah,
has
yeah.
to be. Yeah.
I wonder if it will clock in at 3 hours as well. I kind of hope
I don't
not.
know if Star Wars will do that. I don't know if they can. They're not trying to
There's-
tie up so many loose ends.
There's not as many characters, are there? Let's
No.
face it.
But yeah, let us know what you thought of the
Yeah.
Star Wars trailer, like on the Twitters and Facebook and email.
All that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Get in touch with us. We love talking about this stuff. You know that.
And if you are a Patreon supporter, you know, go over and listen to our Endgame spoiler cast
Yeah.
if you've seen it. If you're not a Patreon supporter and you want to listen to it, it's going to be a while. So
Yeah.
why not head over to
We're
our
not putting
Patreon
this out.
page?
It'll probably be It'll be a Christmas release, won't it? That film. So
Possibly.
I
It'll
can't-
be around Christmas. I think it'll
Yeah.
come on the main feed. If you want to listen to it before then, feel free. Go over Patreon, get all those other exclusives like the After the Podcast and stuff. Listen to the 5 Clicks to Christ episodes.
Yeah.
and get
why
involved
not
in that.
join in as well?
Yeah, that's it. Well, that was what I was getting at.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you know. Oh, join into 5 Clicks to Christ.
That's
Sorry,
what
I
I
thought
mean.
you meant join in with the listening of the Patreon
No,
stuff.
no. But yeah,
But
definitely sign up to Patreon.
$1 a month
That's all it
helps
is.
us out. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's all you need to pay if you want to listen to it. You can choose to pay more
Indeed.
if you want.
So the next episode could be interesting because I believe it'll be the day after my mum's wedding. So yeah, if I'm looking right at the yeah, it will be. So
Perhaps we won't be together again.
maybe we will be putting out the Endgame spoiler cast.
What we're really doing is teasing the fact that we're going to go monthly.
Yeah.
No, we've got another spoiler cast that we could put out.
I'm happy to do it.
Was it Alita?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we could put that out, but or maybe we can figure out something else to do.
Yeah.
If you want a guest, you can do it with me because Tom might not be in a fit state. You know,
Or we can do something next weekend, maybe. Who knows?
I'm working.
Working? Okay,
I'm working.
Cool. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's up in the air at the moment, so we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
It could just be later on in the day, to be fair. Like, I'm not
Yeah, we could do
planning
it.
on getting absolutely
Possibly, yeah.
wankered. So,
Or we do it on the Friday
yeah, all that.
evening.
Yeah, maybe.
No, because you'll be getting ready for the wedding the next day.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Whatever happens, I will.
You're going to get an episode.
Probably be hungover.
Yes.
Or you won't hear me at all.
So
until
bit
next
of
time.
suspense
Yeah.
there.
Until next time.
A bit like a Game of Thrones episode. You can't wait to find out what
Is
happens.
he going to have his head chopped off? Is he not? Will there be a completely unconnected thing that happens in the next episode? Probably.
Or will it just amount to nothing and never get explained?
Find out next time on the Anywhere But Here podcast. I've been Tom.
I've been Ant.
Bye.